I can only watch movies with subtitles. If I turn off the subtitles, I get so lost. Natives speak so fast. I can understand my teacher, but when I listen to someone else, I don't understand anything. My listening is really bad. I get so frustrated when I have to ask someone to repeat what they said. How can I improve my listening? If you ever said any of these phrases or something similar to them, you are not alone. Understanding fast English is one of the greatest challenges English learners face. Maybe you understand English when you read or when you speak to some people, but overall you feel like you need to improve your listening. In today's lesson, you will learn 5 listening secrets that will help you finally understand fast English. But first, if you're tired of trying boring and ineffective methods to learn English, you've come to the right place. Every week, we release lessons to help intermediate and advanced learners just like you to speak English with confidence. So if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and bell down below so you don't miss any of our new lessons. Secret 1. Adjust your expectations. Successful advanced learners understand the importance of managing their expectations. Before we get into practical things you can do and learn to understand fast English, it's important that you remember 3 basic things. 1. Don't try to understand every single word. If you try to understand every single word you hear, you will get frustrated and discouraged. Instead, focus on meaning and specific phrases. Start small and keep improving. 2. Embrace the fact that some sounds in English might not exist in your first language. If you want to understand English better, you have to be willing to learn the most common sounds and pronunciation features of the English language. Those might not exist in your native language, so be open to learning them. 3. Don't expect to understand everything overnight. Developing your listening skills is a lifelong process and it will take time. Be patient. Secret 2. Exposure. In order to understand fast English, you need constant daily exposure to the language. Some ways to do that include watching movies, TV series, and listening to podcasts. Maybe you feel comfortable listening to American English, but how about British, Scottish, and Australian English, for example? Remember that the English language has many different accents and dialects. Make sure you have enough exposure to the different varieties. Also, did you know that most people who speak English in the world are non-native speakers? Listen to non-native speakers as well. This will make your experience learning English much richer. By the way, with our Real Life English app, you can do just that. You can listen and talk to people from all over the world. You can also improve your listening skills with our podcast, which comes with transcripts and vocabulary notes for you to follow along. If you feel lost and insecure speaking English, we highly recommend you download our Real Life English app. You can download it for free at Google Play or the Apple App Store. You can also find a link up here and down in the description below. Become a confident English speaker and join the global conversation by downloading the app now. Secret 3. Learn connected speech. Have you ever stopped to think about what fast English really is? While it's common to believe that natives speak too fast, this is not technically true. Yes, some people do speak faster than others, but most of the time the reason you can't understand is because natives have the habit of linking and reducing sounds. So it's important that you learn about connected speech. Let me give you an example. But then we had to talk to him at 8 o'clock. But then we had to talk to him at 8 o'clock. Notice that I'm speaking both ways at the same pace, not too fast, not too slow, but they still sound different, right? Why? Because in the second form, I'm using connected speech. So let's analyze the connected speech in this sentence. When you have a word that ends in T or D and the next word starts with a consonant, we normally cut out the final T or D. In this example, notice that we have the T for but and the next word then also starts with a consonant. In this case, we don't pronounce the final T in but. Instead, we say but then. Also, we have the D for had and the next word to starts with a consonant. Again, we don't pronounce the D for had, instead we say had to. The T in the word to is sometimes pronounced as a flap T, and the O is usually reduced to a schwa sound, It's very common for Americans to pronounce it duh. In England, you would probably hear had to, while in the US, you would probably hear hadda. It's also common to cut the H in the word him, so we would say im. If the next word that follows a final T or D is a vowel, we tend to pronounce the T or D with a flap T sound. This is especially true in American English. For example, at 8 o'clock becomes at 8 o'clock. So when we put these connected speech elements together, we have something like, but then we had to talk to him at 8 o'clock. Or, but then we had to talk to him at 8 o'clock. Notice that in England, we tend to pronounce the letter T more often than Americans. That's why it's important for you to listen to many different accents. If you want to learn more about connected speech, Ethan and I made 2 lessons with more examples. You can find the link to the lessons up here, and I'll also link them down in the description below. Make sure you watch them after this lesson. Secret 4. Know where to put the stress in the sentences. Sentence stress is about knowing which words to emphasize in a sentence. In every sentence, we have 2 kinds of words, content words and function words. Content words are the words that carry the meaning of the sentence. They are usually nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. On the other hand, function words are words that connect the main ideas in a phrase. While they carry a little bit of meaning, their main use is to put it all together. They are usually prepositions, auxiliary verbs, and linking words. Let's look at some examples. You will see some sentences on the screen. First, I will give you some time to try and identify the words that would be stressed in pronunciation. The verb study and the adverb a lot are stressed here. I must and the article a is reduced to a schwa sound, I must study a lot. I must study a lot. I'd made dinner when she called. The verbs made and called are stressed, just like the noun dinner. The auxiliary had is abbreviated, and the words when she are spoken continuously. I'd made dinner when she called. He's been in and out of the country many times. The words been, country, and times are stressed. He has is reduced to he's, and the word many is pronounced quickly. However, notice that the phrase in and out of gets really reduced since it's formed by 3 prepositions, 1 linking word, and an article. So we say in and out of the. He's been in and out of the country many times. As you can see, it's much more productive to focus on sentence stress rather than individual sounds. However, there is one very special sound in English that you should pay attention to. This little sound, when applied correctly, can drastically improve your listening skills and your pronunciation. And this is actually the next and final secret we're going to talk about. Secret 5, the schwa sound. The schwa is the sound we make when we need time to think about what we're going to say next. Almost all vowels that are not stressed in a word will be pronounced with an sound. Because of this, the schwa is the most frequent sound in spoken English. Since this sound is very common, if you work on producing the schwa sound every time it occurs in a word, not only will your pronunciation improve, but also your listening comprehension will automatically get better. Let's understand this sound in a bit more detail. Take a look at the word construction. First, you need to identify the vowels. In this case, we have the vowels O, U, and IO. Now you need to determine which one of these vowels is stressed or pronounced more strongly. In this case, it is the vowel U, as in truck. This means that the other vowels, O and IO, will have the same sound. Which sound is that? That's right, the schwa sound. So we pronounce this word construction. Other examples include famous, confusion, computer. Knowing about the schwa is really important because when we apply connected speech elements in a sentence, unstressed vowels tend to have the sound For example, I have to go to the library because I've got to borrow a book. Would you like us to create a lesson only about the schwa sound? Leave a comment saying, I'd like to learn more about the schwa sound. If there are enough requests, we might just create one soon. To recap, here are the 5 secrets to understanding fast English. Secret 1. Have realistic expectations. Don't expect to understand everything overnight. Secret 2. Listen to all kinds of English. Have daily exposure to both native and non-native English. Secret 3. Learn connected speech. Study how natives link and connect the sounds. Secret 4. Know where to put the stress in the sentences. Practice identifying content words and function words in a phrase. Secret 5. The schwa sound. Study and implement the schwa sound in your English. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want to keep learning, I highly recommend you watch this one next.
So today we're talking all about connected speech. So what is connected speech? Maybe you have heard this term before, but if you haven't, it's going to really revolutionize your English. So connected speech is how we natives cut and connect our words together, and really it's what gives English its musicality.